The value of slow learning is that you get real purposeful things done that will have an impact on people for forever, for a long time, rather than false things which we're doing which are never going to last.
So, what does a slow school actually look like? The My World curriculum at Matthew Moss High School offers an illuminating example of how slow education can take form in practice.
First, we had this trip thing for archaeology, then me and Michael liked it, so we thought we'd do a project about archaeology. He's finding some coal. I found that at ELLI then. We're going to have a final exhibition in about, I think it's 2 months.
The My World programme at Matthew Moss is a non-subject specific course that was devised in response to what the teachers thought should be happening if we wanted to develop effective learners.
Learners in Year 7 and 8 have 4 double lessons of My World per week, taking 2 lessons each from English, science, humanities and technology.
We're starting this in Year 7, but actually you see the effective learner in Year 10.
So there's so many things going on. It's very hard to grasp what everyone's doing. It's very different.
You've got all the different methods in which the pupils are learning and putting the skills into action.
My World projects are lengthy undertakings. Learners commit to researching, designing, drafting and redrafting their projects. And because learning is not linear and individuals will take different routes, plenty of time needs to be given to this process.
That's a handle for my door or something. This has got a nice pattern on it. And this is cone, what we found.
So what you see in Year 8 are people making mistakes and taking a long time to do something, apparently taking a long time and doing nothing. And you have to go with that. That's the process of people developing and learning how to learn and finding out what to do when they don't know what to do.
Teachers and learners alike learn to take risks, to deal with failure, to be realistic about what can be achieved.
So it gives you the freedom to do that, though. That's a good thing. Every learner has their own way of doing things, and it accompanies for all types of learners. Yeah, is that the word? Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah.
Because when you have a bit more time than normal, you're expected to do work up to a higher standard and try and get the most research and the best projects.
We're not trying to get instant targets and instant results and do things to prove everything instantly.
I am my world, and my world exists for learning before anything else.
A few years ago now, we asked a whole group of parents and local post-16 providers and employers talking about what they wanted from a 16-year-old leaving us. We've set about deliberately trying to construct at least part of the curriculum around those objectives that our local community talked about, and not trying to tweak, twist, cajole a knowledge acquisition curriculum into doing something that it was never designed to do.
No space here for all those distractions and diversions that pretend to improve learning. Often these are anything but.
Ultimately, it will fit a government agenda in that ultimately you'll have people who operate much better in the world. But it does not fit the short-term target-setting goal stuff that the government want.
When you get to Key Stage 4, you obviously got the constraint of the exams, and students unfortunately have to pass those exams to get their tickets on to go on to their next level of whatever they choose to do.
Now we're starting to appreciate when we're revising and stuff like that, what My World stars.
They're not just maths, how do you add that in? It's not English, how do you write this? It's very useful, and they can be used for anything.
We try to make it real. The outcome is real. It isn't in an exercise book that is lost in the bottom of a bag that nobody ever responds to properly.
You sort of like take it in more, because if you're doing it yourself, then you go, that's interesting, and then you think about it and then research more about it, and then you learn more because you're interested in it. But if you're not interested in it, then you don't really learn as much because you get bored.
I am my world. My world is not ruled by fear. Fear of getting it wrong, fear of taking a risk, fear of being told no.
Because you set up an element where they might fail and you allow them to fail, sometimes students can respond in a different way to that. They might struggle with that and struggle with criticism.
In my world, I need to know that I can take risks, make mistakes, learn from them and move on.
Because you're opening them up to that element of failure, then that makes it real and relevant to them.
I am here.
I am now. I am my world.
So, what do we take from the example of My World? What sets this radical approach apart from the mainstream?
One is based on a transmission view of coverage and doing stuff, doing work. And the other is based upon the idea that learning is a bit unpredictable, is a personal experience, and where the process of doing it is a part of its value.
I am my world, and my world is still under construction. The building work will take time, but I'll get there. After all, this is a self-build project. If what I do is to have any real value, I have to be the architect, the builder, and the owner, not just the tenant.